We can all agree 2016 has been a bit of a crazy year in the news.
It appears to be the deadliest terror attack on American soil since 9/11.
Well, this is certainly the sort of news that you don't want to believe is true, but Prince has died at the age of 57 years old.
The death toll has risen overnight from a suspected Islamic State suicide.
We've seen journalists all over the world have to report on some pretty traumatic stuff, and they've had to do so while reporting live and on deadline.
We've watched some journalists struggle fighting back tears on screen.
Now that includes Omran. And what strikes me is we shed tears, but there are no tears here. He doesn't cry once. That little boy is in total shock.
And we've also seen some pretty bad examples of reporting, where, when desperate to file a breaking news story, journalists have forgotten to report with empathy.
We watched him come back with a crowbar, and he worked to get it out. Finally, they got out a drill, and they opened up the door that had been barricaded with a big piece of wood.
I'm shocked here that if the police are watching this right now, they better be on their way down there to be able to stop this from happening, because this is, I'm shaking over it. That's how irresponsible this is.
This had us thinking, in the face of such unrest, how can a journalist balance reporting the facts and offering a humane response? Are we reporting with enough empathy? And if not, is it time to rethink the way tragedies and traumas are covered?
In a recent article, journalist P. Kim Bui predicted that 2016 would be the year the media needs to remember to feel something.
Ed, are you okay?
Newsrooms have always been places where feelings and emotions are swept under the carpet. Journalists are tough people, and after covering a traumatic story, they're expected to move on. But this is no longer enough.
If we continue to approach stories like this, the media is going to lose a lot of trust and respect. And when the world is as uncertain as it is, trust is something that we need.
Is it simply enough to report the facts? What could we achieve by bringing a greater sense of empathy to our stories and to those they involve?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with their names. The names of the 48 out of 49 people who have so far been identified. Antonio Devon Brown was a captain in the U.S. Army Reserve and a graduate of Florida A&M. He was 29. Alejandro Barrios Martinez was 21.
We think this is a conversation that needs starting. As young journalists about to enter the industry, we want to feel confident that we have the tools required to tackle stories of trauma and tragedy with respect and eloquence.
And after having a hard day, we want to feel like we can come back to the newsroom and talk about it.
So sorry.
Graham.
And I will leave it there. There is certainly hope here in Harrison. With that is back to you.
Graham, thank you very much indeed, and I know it has been a hugely difficult.
2016 has thrown the media a couple of curveballs, but we think now is the perfect time to stop and reflect on the nature of journalism and the way we're reporting on tragedy.
How can we bring a greater sense of empathy to journalism in 2016?